Hi everyone, welcome to Module 7. For Module 7, you're going to be reading chapters 31 and 32. I have the PowerPoints here. I have the chapter summaries or teaching summaries as well. And I also have some various articles and videos that you can review to help build a foundation for your analysis. So for this week, let's go over, and for this week also, you're going to be completing the Applia work. In the Applia work, make sure to take advantage of your multiple attempts. When you take advantage of those multiple attempts, I do give you the highest out of the multiple attempts to really assist with your effort. So for this week, we're going to look at how can trade make us better off. When we look at trade, you'll notice that trade has many advantages. When you look in a closed economy where it does not interact with other economies in the world, whereas an open economy interacts freely with other economies around the world. An export is something that's produced within a country and it's shipped abroad, whereas an import is something that's produced abroad and bought in the domestic country. When you look at net exports, this is the value of exports minus the value of imports. You'll notice that the U.S. has been running historically a trade deficit, and when there's a trade deficit, this creates many challenges for an economy to deal with. You have some learning activities that you can go through. I think they'll be very helpful for your analysis. So variables that are going to influence net exports. How are we going to be able to export more? Consumer preferences for foreign and domestic goods. Prices of goods at home and abroad. Incomes of consumers at homes and abroad. So when there's more income in a domestic country, they're going to buy more stuff outside of the country. Exchange rates, transportation costs, and government policies. When we look at the trade surpluses and deficit, you'll notice that the U.S. runs an historically high trade deficit, which means they import more than they export. However, we do have trade surpluses, and a trade surplus is where there's an excess of exports over imports. And you'll notice that a lot of Asian countries have this trade surplus, and trade surpluses can be at an advantage because when you look at trade surpluses will create jobs in the economy. Well, they'll be able to really extend their ability to buy other goods because of the creation of more jobs. And that's very important to evaluate, the creation of more jobs in the economy. So you want to look at that because I think that'll bring about a lot of interesting things. When you look at the U.S. economy over the last couple of years, you'll notice that this trade deficit has been growing considerably. And when we look at the trade deficit, you'll notice that we're focused on many different things. And one of the things you focus on with the trade deficit is how to control the trade deficit. What are some of the implications of this trade deficit on the overall U.S. economy? How does it influence the unemployment rate? How does it influence the number of jobs that are being created? So those are some things that we have to evaluate for this week. We're also going to look at the flow of capital. And you'll notice that the flow of capital will be based off of jobs are being created and the opportunities in an economy. So when there's more opportunities in an economy, you'll notice that more money will flow into that economy, more jobs will be created, and more opportunities will be created as well. There's two types of investment. You have foreign direct investment, where domestic residents actively manage the foreign investments, and you have foreign portfolio investments, where domestic residents purchase stocks and bonds. Both of these types of investments are important for an economy. You do want flow of capital coming in an economy. That creates many opportunities. Now, let's look at the U.S. savings investment and net capital outflow. You look at here at the net capital outflow, you notice it is starting to turn negative. You notice that the savings as a percentage of GDP is decreased and investment is decreased as well. Those are many showing signs of an economy that started to be more globally dependent upon other countries to produce various goods and services. And you'll notice that those opportunities are very important in markets to evaluate as well. So these are some of the concepts that we're looking at this week. If you'd like, I'd be more than willing to provide additional resources, but make sure to look at the resources I have there as well, as it'll help you do well.